Chapter 71 Fruit Reaction, Bonus Confirmation. You are listening at novelfold.audio. After the meeting, the company's official website updated the relevant information about Chongqing liquor, just waiting for these reporters to upload the interview videos and news to the internet. At this time, other mobile phone manufacturers were researching wireless charging kits, but they had basically no results. They couldn't understand the things in it at all, as if they were not in the same dimension. Reverse research could not see the future, and there was no need to think about getting results in a short time. Even if they did research it, it would cost a huge amount of money, and by then Yidian might have the second or third generation. Because of patent reasons, their reverse research could not be used commercially at all. Lighthouse Country, Fruit Company, CEO Ku, was extremely angry. The Lighthouse Country reporter who had just been in China gave him the interview news. Why Yidian did not match the answer to the fruit phone. He notified all the senior executives overnight and came to the company for a meeting. Ku stared at his subordinates in the office. This is the result of your previous report. It is obvious that the other party was just perfunctory with you before, you idiot. He looked at another technical department head and said, tell me, what is the result? The technology is very advanced, we can't decipher it. We have always been the leader and innovator of technology, but this time we have lost face. Cook said, pulling his tie and walking around the office a few times. Damn pedals, damn billion points. During this period, it was not easy to press the pedals to the ground and rub them through other means, and the market in China has burst into new vitality, but now there is a problem again. The indestructible cockroach got up again. Let's talk about it. How can we increase our sales? Our mobile phones are not selling well. People in the office were talking about it, and soon someone raised his hand with an evasive look. Boss, we can give up the Lightning interface and change it to the Type-C interface. What did you say? Don't I want to save face? And you know how much money we will lose in this way. Ku's face was hideous, and his veins were exposed. If we don't change it, our mobile phone business will be hit and the loss will be even greater. The man with evasive eyes continued. Ku thought for a long time. It seems I have to go to the White House. Ku waved his hand to let everyone go out. He thought for a long time again in the office, picked up the phone and dialed. After hanging up the phone, he got up and left the company and went to a villa area where rich people gathered. Not long after, he went to the White House with the owner of the villa area. Time flies in China, and the video of the interview just now has been uploaded to all major platforms. The news of the online rumors has been confirmed. Many people in many cities envy Chongqing for having such a company. This is a promising company. With such a company, it will be much easier to find a job. Many Chongqing people work in Jinling and said that this is the first time they know Yidian company and will submit their resumes. If they meet the requirements, they want to go back to work. Many netizens said that although the company has a good development prospect, it is too far away and they will not go. There is also the matter of the fruit wireless charging kit. Netizens said that Mr. Liu's reply was too refreshing, just to kill the momentum of foreign companies. However, many netizens also spoke out, hoping that wireless charging kits that support the Apple interface can still be produced and sold. We want to show the tolerance of China. These are basically users of Apple phones, because the phone used to send messages on the web page is an Apple phone. However, powerful netizens still came up with a method and posted pictures. In the pictures, an adapter was added between the Apple phone and the wireless charging port, which can be used normally, but it is ugly. At this time, a merchant posted a message that they designed a mobile phone case that can directly transfer the interface. The design is very beautiful, which is equivalent to a lot of people are.as for the information about Chongqing wine. Everyone saw it and did not leave many comments, because those who have needs can go directly to the official website to check the relevant introduction. There were many buyers at one time. After all, this wine is high-end and limited. After reading the introduction, many people know that the new year is coming soon, and the grade of this wine is enough, and it also has investment attributes. Qingfeng wine can be upgraded to 1 star and appreciate by 20% to 30%, up to 3 stars, while Chongqing wine can be upgraded to 5 stars. The basic taste is very good, so the price will appreciate more after the star upgrade. Moreover, there is a discount before the Spring Festival, 1,000 yuan less per bottle, and it will be restored on the first day of the Lunar New Year. If you buy a bottle, you will directly make 1,000 yuan. Some people think the above, but some people will not buy it, thinking it is just a promotional gimmick, because many wines are priced high and discounted every day. This practice is not only for wine, but also for clothes. There are so many clothes in the mall that are marked at 10,000 or 20,000 yuan per piece, and they are discounted every day. There are also many supermarkets and small stores that sell at a loss for the last 3 days, and then they sell for the last 3 days. After selling for a year, when everyone knows the situation, they move to another place and continue for the last 3 days. Many netizens posted on the internet saying that Yijian cannot be limited. Their production is so simple that there will be no difference in quantity. If they wait a little longer, the price will probably drop. Many people were affected by these remarks and chose to wait and see. Yijian wine industry is very busy at this time, and countless trucks enter and leave the factory every day. Liu Sen brought people from the group to see if there was anyone who needed help. He also went to the Technical Research and Development Department of Yijian to check the recent research progress. There is already a direction for the development of alcoholic beverages. The research and development teams are divided into several groups, some specializing in liquor, some developing wine, some developing medicinal liquor, and other fruits. Looking at their research, Liu Sen silently used the golden finger to strengthen their research results, and then directly restored the original state, but the relevant knowledge and the correct research direction were already in his mind. Directly in the next 2 days, Liu Sen communicated with all the groups about the research goals and directions. In these 2 days, Liu Sen's knowledge and foresight conquered all the researchers of Yijian Liquor. Many of them entered the company later. They also heard that Liu Sen, the boss, was very strong, but they had no concept. Now they really feel that they have been ruthlessly crushed. After guiding these people, Liu Sen and Deng Yaoluan said hello and returned to the group. At the end of the year, the company's performance is very good, and the profit margin is very high. It is necessary to plan the salary payment at the end of the year. In the office, Liu Sen, Lu Ying, Yin Dan, and Jin Shuya discussed the distribution of year-end bonuses. After discussion, the final basis was that the lowest-level employees would receive year-end bonuses according to the time they joined the company. After all, the company was founded only 3 months ago, and many people have only worked for 1 to 2 months. Those who have joined the company for 3 months will receive 10,000 yuan, those who have joined the company for 2 months will receive 8,000 yuan, and those who have joined the company for 1 month or less will receive 5,000 yuan. In this way, there are more than 13,000 grassroots employees, and a total of 114 million yuan will be distributed. Grassroots management. 1,128 people, according to the time of joining the company, each person will receive 20,000 yuan, 15,000 yuan, and 10,000 yuan, totaling 16.92 million yuan. Middle-level management, 218 people, according to the time of joining the company, each person will receive 60,000 yuan, 40,000 yuan, and 20,000 yuan, totaling 8.72 million yuan. Senior management, 51 people, according to the time of joining the company, each person will receive 300,000 yuan, 200,000 yuan, and 100,000 yuan, totaling 10.2 million yuan. Lu Ying, Yin Dan, Jin Shuya, Deng Yaoluan, Kai Chongqing and Zhang Sen received an additional bonus of 1 million yuan, and Lu received an additional bonus of 500,000 yuan to thank her for her contribution in the company's initial entrepreneurial stage. Chapter 72, Key Government Communications and Amazing Annual Meeting Prize Draw. You are listening at novelfold.audio. What we just discussed and confirmed is the year-end bonus, and the normal monthly bonus will still be paid out normally. As time goes by, Shangqing wine has also entered thousands of households. Various reviews of Shangqing wine have also appeared on the internet, and all the reviews are very good. Shoko, who made a big splash in the last review of Qingfeng wine, also made a review of Shangqing wine at the first time and gave a very high evaluation. As long as people who have drunk it have a very high recognition of Shangqing wine, they all say that this wine has reached a new height of Chinese liquor. It is definitely the top level of liquor. The distributors in the Lighthouse country also directly ordered 100 tons from Yijian Company. These wines were transported in 2 batches, 10 tons were directly transported by air, which can meet the market as soon as possible and be used to promote the reputation of high-end wines. Another batch was transported by sea. The other party has already liked this mode of transportation. Not only is the freight cheap, but on the other hand, most of the wines shipped by sea will be upgraded, which can directly appreciate in value. Before the goods arrived, the invested goods directly appreciated by about 20%. Such a good thing can't be found anywhere else. Liu Sen also received a notice from Qian of the government that they would visit Yijian in the near future. The other party's tone was particularly cordial, and they also wanted to build a good relationship with the company. The sudden rise of Yijian was completely beyond their expectations. At the beginning, it was because of the relationship with President Jin, and they would also give some care without violating the regulations. I really didn't expect that it would become so big in just a few months. During this period, many superiors came to call to inquire about the situation of Yijian, some at the municipal level and some at the provincial level. All these made the Rongqing government more face-saving, and Rongqing's reputation was also spread out and became famous throughout the country. Yijian Company is not only an industrial company that does practical things, but also very famous on the internet, and Rongqing is also famous. This is very beneficial for future investment promotion. Recently, many large companies want to invest and build factories in Rongqing, including real estate. There are some signs of warming up again, and housing prices have begun to rise. They knew that this was all because of Yijian, so they had to maintain it well and take their needs into consideration. After all, if some of their plans affected the development plan of Yijian Company, it would be bad if there were conflicts. This time, in the name of inspection, it was actually to determine the future urban development plan through communication. After all, everyone has the common point of building their hometown Rongqing well. It is best to cooperate with each other. A few days later, under the leadership of Liu Sen, the leaders of Rongqing were welcomed. This team was very large, not only with the first and second in command, but also with all the department leaders of Rongqing. Such a large team is also for better communication. Liu Sen led the reception team, accompanied Xie Hongshan and Chen Tianxiang to visit the group's direct scientific research team, logistics team, and legal team, and then took them to visit each subsidiary. Along the way, they received countless exclamations and praises. After all the meetings, they finally had dinner in the group's cafeteria. After the meal, everyone entered the meeting room. The reception team of Yijian Company was outside preparing to provide logistical support. The top leaders of Rongqing, the top leaders of various departments, and the senior executives of Yijian Company in the conference room began to get down to business. They began to express their opinions on the future development of Rongqing and Yijian Company. Time passed quickly, and the day ended in a blink of an eye. Everyone went back to rest and gathered together again the next afternoon to discuss. At the end of the meeting, everyone smiled with satisfaction. In the next period of time, according to the plan, Rongqing will have a big development, and all aspects will actively promote the implementation of the plan. The content of this meeting will also be kept confidential and may not be made public until many years later. After the government officials left, Rongqing's number 1 and number 2 also set out again to report to Kudu. A day later, they went to the province together with the leaders of Kudu. 2 days later, Liu Sen received a call. Mr. Liu, the things we communicated before have been approved by the top. The person speaking on the other side was Rongqing's number 2 Chen Tianxiang. Okay, then I don't have too many concerns. Liu Sen received a positive reply and was quite happy. The development in the next period of time will definitely enter the fast lane, and there is no need to worry about being restricted. Otherwise, the development will definitely be greatly affected. Although the current revenue scale of Yijian Enterprise is indispensable for the development of Rongqing, if some procedures are delayed, it will also affect the progress of his overall planning. With the recognition and cooperation of the government, it will be much easier. You can do it boldly, we will fully support it. Chen Tianxiang will definitely support it strongly. Rongqing will get more from the development of Yijian. They have won the commendation from above this time. Just 1 week before the Chinese New Year, all the stocks of Shangqing liquor were sold out. According to the leader's intention, the website maintenance staff directly issued a notice on the official website. Notice to all customers, due to the limited inventory of Shangqing liquor, it is currently sold out. If you need it, please buy it in April next year. The moment they saw the notice, the netizens who were previously influenced by some online views exploded instantly. These netizens began to attack those who had previously posted on the internet that Shanqing liquor would definitely not be out of stock and would even be reduced in price. They even directly scolded those people on the hot search, and all kinds of abuse were overwhelming. Many people deleted posts and closed comments. At the same time, there were many posts seeking to buy Shanqing wine, hoping to buy a batch. These have nothing to do with Yijian and Liu Senator. He is organizing the annual meeting of the entire company. This annual meeting was held outdoors in a square next to the group. This square was also renovated by Yijian after it was left unfinished, except for the necessary staff. All the company staff arrived, and sales staff from all over the country also came back to participate. Everyone was beaming with joy, because of the rapid development of the company. The company's staff promotion speed was also very fast, and the performance bonus was also a large sum. Many people have directly reached the peak of their lives and changed their lives because of Yijian. Employees one by one, those without cars bought cars, those without houses bought houses, those without girlfriends got girlfriends, and those without wives got wives. Those with cars changed cars, those with houses changed bigger houses, those with girlfriends changed girlfriends, and those with wives changed wives. Just kidding, the last two are not there, but the car and house in the front are real. Everyone was very happy to attend the annual meeting this time, with a smile on their faces, and they also heard some rumors that the year-end bonus this time was very good. The first thing at the meeting was the work reports and plans for the next year from the general managers of each subsidiary and the director of the group. After all, many grassroots employees do not know the situation and development of other subsidiaries. This process also allows all employees to understand the company's projects, future development and goals, and increase employees' sense of honor and mission. In simple terms, you go out to brag and have something to talk about, especially since the Chinese New Year is coming in a week. If you don't pretend to be cool in front of your relatives and friends when you go back, it will be a failure. Next are some singing and dancing projects, which will end soon. Liu Sen walked onto the stage and looked at. This is his goal, which is being realized step by step, driving employees and people to get rich, leading scientific and technological progress, and making the country rich and strong. Hello, brothers and sisters. After a period of hard work, we have received today's rewards. Yijian Company is booming with everyone's efforts. No matter how much I say, it can't compare to material rewards, so I will announce a few things today. The first is the year-end bonus. Although the company was founded only 2 or 3 months ago, many people have just joined our big family, but there is still a year-end bonus. The specific distribution details will be sent to everyone in a while. The second is my decision. Because of the rapid development of the company's annual employee increase is very large. In order to attract more people to join the company will build a batch of houses every year to reward employees with outstanding performance. The specific details will be issued together. The third is the lucky draw of this annual meeting. Please look at the big screen. When everyone saw the big screen, they were boiling. The lucky draw rewards were too tempting. Special prize, 1 person, 1 million, first prize, 3 people, 500,000, second prize, 20 people, 100,000, third prize, 200 people, 10,000, fourth prize, 1,000 winners, 5,000 yuan, lucky prize, 5,000 winners, 1,000 yuan, participation prize, all non-winners, 500 yuan Mulinson stored value card. I believe everyone has seen it. Are you surprised or not? Liu Sen said loudly. Surprise. This is really a big surprise. Not only is there a high year-end bonus, but the lottery at this annual meeting is also beyond their imagination. The answers are very neat. It seems that everyone is very satisfied. Liu Sen heard everyone's answers and saw everyone's eyes, each revealing desire, and he also smiled. Once his company's annual meeting only gave everyone a 2 yuan lottery ticket, saying that it was giving everyone a chance to win 5 million, which was simply speechless. Now let's start the lottery. Liu Sen continued to explain. The rules of this lottery are different from the ones you've seen before. When you all enter the venue, you will have a number ticket, which is divided into 2 halves. One half is kept by you, and the other half is put into this lottery box by yourself. This large lottery box has always been here. It is completely transparent, and only the top is black and opaque. Everyone should be able to see it from the beginning until now. No one has touched it. The current lottery rules are that starting from the lucky prize, each winner will come up to draw the next prize until the special prize is drawn. The rest are all participation prizes. Chapter 73 Prize Distribution. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Liu Sen stood on the stage, looked at everyone's expressions, and then announced. The wind is blowing. At the command, the staff on the side turned on the power, drew a number ticket from the prize box, and began to fly under the encouragement of the wind. All the number tickets were constantly disrupted by the wind. All the people in the audience looked at this transparent box, and everyone's heart was also floating with the lottery ticket inside, up and down. Maybe this night can change their future destiny. A group of young ladies in Liu Sen uniforms walked onto the stage under the leadership of Lu, sat aside, and took out cards from the boxes they were carrying. Then I saw the parked armored car on the side opened, and then NIU led several staff members and security personnel to the stage carrying several large boxes. The staff had already set up the table with several money-counting machines on it. The staff opened the box, which was full of cash, and quickly stacked the cash on the table. Seeing the pile of 100 yuan cash, everyone's heartbeat began to accelerate. These are all the prizes and will be distributed on the spot. Here are the participation prizes, a stored value card worth 500 yuan. Here are the other prizes, totaling 16.5 million in cash. A minute later, Liu Sen continued, let's start the lottery now, and I'll be the first to throw a brick to attract jade. The big screen behind Liu Sen showed everything that was happening, allowing everyone to see clearly. Liu Sen on the screen took 2 steps forward, reached into the lottery box through the black telescopic net on top, and grabbed a number ticket from the flying tickets with his mobile phone. Liu Sen showed the number ticket directly in front of the camera, 10086. Congratulations to number 10086, please come on stage to receive the prize. The host in Cheongsam next to him rapped the number loudly and invited people to come on stage. Yeah, I won the prize. The winner was a little girl with a cute look. When she heard her number was called, she was very excited, but seeing the strange expressions of the people around her, she seemed to have thought of something, and her smile froze, and then her face turned red. It wasn't a big prize for her. Winning the prize could only mean that a bigger prize was away from her. She was so stunned at that moment that she stood there. The host saw that she didn't come up to receive the prize, so he invited her to the stage to receive the prize again. A girl next to the little girl hurriedly pulled her, and she came back to her senses and hurried to the stage. Hello, congratulations on winning the prize. This is your first prize and it was drawn by Mr. Liu himself. The host said to the little girl who came on stage. The little girl was happy all of a sudden when she heard the host's words. Indeed, hers was drawn by Mr. Liu, unique. Thank you. She replied immediately. Then, under the guidance of the host, she walked to the lottery box. The little girl drew the next lucky prize winner from the number box, and the number ticket showed 9527. Then the little girl went to the side to collect the lucky prize of 1000 yuan. As soon as she finished collecting it, she heard the words of the little sister at another table next to her. Hello. I am from a certain bank, do you need to deposit money? That the little girl thought about it and thought. That 1000 yuan was not much, so there was no need to deposit it in the bank. If it was a big prize, she would deposit it. Hello, I don't need to deposit it. Thank you. Then he walked down the podium. The draw continued, winners were born one after another, and more money was given to the winners. The atmosphere on the scene became more and more heated, and all those who had not won the prize had the most complicated mood. The two emotions of disappointment and excitement have always accompanied and alternated. Disappointment is because I didn't win the prize, and excitement is that I might win the grand prize. As time passed, more and more money was given out later, from a few thousand to tens of thousands and then to 100,000. More and more people deposited their prizes directly into the bank on the spot after receiving the prizes, and most of them asked to take pictures first and then deposit the money. The bank also specially arranged a person to help take pictures of the winners. The service was really thoughtful. Finally, the draw came to the end, and a person who won the first prize excitedly drew the special prize under the attention of everyone. The final grand prize was won by Qian Duo, a grassroots employee, who was very happy and spoke on the podium. "Thank you for the opportunity given to me by the leader. I will definitely work hard. I am very honored to join the big family of Yijian. I hope to contribute my own strength within my ability. In the future, I will try my best to do everything well." Qian Duo, although called this name, in fact, the family conditions are not good at all, even poor. His father gave him this name because he hoped that he could get rid of the difficulties and become rich. He himself does not have much ability, but one advantage is that he is down to earth and diligent in doing things. 2 months ago, he joined Yijian Company and became a warehouse manager, responsible for moving and sorting the warehouse, and his salary reached 8,000, which was after deducting all the 5 insurances and 1 housing fund. Therefore, he cherishes it very much and works very hard, because he sees the hope of life. This time, he won 1 million at the annual meeting, which completely changed his life. He is really grateful to Yijian Company. There are many people like this, and they all changed their lives in Yijian Company. Yijian's annual meeting was held happily, but people on the internet were envious, because Yijian invited some media and self-media to participate in this annual meeting. Many media suddenly contacted their superiors to broadcast the annual meeting after participating, because they expected that this would definitely attract a lot of people to watch, and there were too many explosive points. Yijian's annual meeting directly rushed to the top of the popularity. Countless people across the country watched it, and they were very envious. Yijian's year-end bonus distribution rules have been spread online, and they all expressed envy that they also want it. Netizens said that they worked hard for a year and never saw a year-end bonus. Some said that they only had 1 month's salary, while Yijian only worked for 1 or 2 months and the average salary was tens of thousands, or even more. Yijian's salary slips were also leaked to the internet, and the lowest level of salary was tens of thousands, and countless people expressed envy. The subsequent annual meeting lottery was even more explosive, with cash distribution. There are also good participation prizes. Many netizens said that Liu Sen is now very famous, and has opened stores in major cities in a short period of time. Now it has become a must-drink trend for professional women. This kind of stored value card is very classy whether you use it yourself or give it to others. Countless netizens said that this is what the annual meeting lottery should look like, with at least 500 yuan in gifts. Some netizens said that their company has never held an annual meeting. And some said that there is an annual meeting, but the biggest prize is only a mobile phone. Some netizens said that the lottery process of Yijian Company is very transparent and fair. Their company is all black box operation, and the grand prize is internally determined. More people are looking at the talent recruitment details and related benefits just announced by Yijian Company, and are preparing to apply for the job after the new year. With such good treatment, why not go if you have talent? Going to this company for a year is equivalent to working in other places for 2 or 3 years, or even more. This wave of Yijian has become popular, and people from all walks of life know Yijian Company, and Liu Sen has also become known to more people, knowing that this is a high-end brand and a must-have for high-income people. Drinking it regularly can effectively maintain your figure, provide all nutrients, and make your skin better. After the annual meeting, there was still a week before the Chinese New Year. All the companies in Yijian basically started to take holidays. Of course, the necessary personnel still needed to work overtime, but the company also promised to give generous compensation for overtime during the Chinese New Year. Not only would they pay an extra month's salary, but they would also give the same number of days of paid leave after the Chinese New Year. During the holiday, after Liu Sen dealt with some problems, he bought a lot of things with his 3 daughters before returning to his hometown. The house at home had been repaired some time ago, including the decoration. Liu Sen drove into the yard and looked at the exterior. The house was indeed well repaired. "Mom and Dad, I'm back." Liu Sen's parents were busy in the kitchen. Knowing that Liu Sen was coming back today, they went to buy vegetables early in the morning and wanted to make a hearty dinner. Wang Zuelian and Lu Qingxing originally thought that their son would be able to go home often, see him often, and eat together often after returning to Rongqing for development, but they didn't expect that the time they spent together did not shorten, but was even less than before. They didn't complain too much, knowing that their son was busy with his career and making a lot of money. the couple often received money from their son in their own accounts. At first, they would check and call to ask, but now they are used to it and no longer care about how much money is in the bank account. Anyway, they know that they can't spend it all in this life, and it will be difficult in the next life. The two have no burden. They can't see their son for a long time, so they can only go out for a few months. Now that their son is back for the new year, they can spend a lot of time together. It's good to be back. Wang Suilian saw the three girls following behind, and immediately smiled happily, asked the three girls to sit down, and even went to make tea. "Auntie, you don't have to do it, we can do it ourselves." Lu Ying immediately poured water and made tea. Lu and Yin Dan looked at whether there was anything they needed to do. Liu Sen saw that they were not very comfortable here, so he said immediately, "Mom, I'll take them upstairs to see and book their rooms." Lu's mother agreed immediately after hearing it, and asked Liu Sen to take them upstairs to see, and tell them if there was anything he was not satisfied with. The new house has 2 floors, one underground, and Lu's parents live on the first floor, so they don't have to climb stairs. Several people went upstairs and quickly chose the room, and wrote down the changes they wanted, but the 3 of them didn't dare to tell Lu's mother. They all planned to buy and change the decoration for 2 or 3 consecutive days. Liu Sen and others were busy decorating the room, and finally finished it. During this period, Lu's mother talked to Liu Sen alone and warned him not to bully the 3 girls. If he treated them badly, she would break his dog legs. Lu's mother then distributed the old things heirlooms in the family to the 3 girls, and told them to tell her if Liu Sen treated them badly. The 3 girls shyly took the old things, and they felt relieved. They were also worried that the old man didn't like them. The next morning, the 3 girls happily drove home to celebrate the new year. Chapter 74, Large-Scale Purchases, Holding On to the Golden Thigh. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Liu Sen finally had some free time at home. He had been working non-stop during this period. He needed to keep thinking about the direction of the group. Now that the Chinese New Year has come, he can finally put down his work and have a good rest. Because the house had just been built, he had hired a housekeeper to clean it before moving in, so the house cleaning before the new year was exempted. Because Liu Sen made some money from starting a company this year, he bought a lot of things at home, including a sweeping robot. Liu Sen received a task assigned by his parents at home, responsible for purchasing some New Year goods. Fireworks and firecrackers are definitely indispensable. Now many cities are no longer allowed to set off firecrackers, but Liu Sen's hometown does not have this saying. In previous Chinese New Years, the firecrackers at home were bought by the 2 elders, and they were all regular firecrackers. This year, he took the initiative to undertake this task, drove directly to the firecracker shop, and bought a lot of various fireworks and firecrackers. The boss directly asked Liu Sen about his well-being, and almost worshipped him. This is his god of wealth. Liu Sen bought half of the store's inventory and went to other stores to see if there were any other novel firecrackers. He saw a Gatling firecracker, which looked quite aggrieved. He had never played with the real thing, but this one would be fun to play with. He would definitely play with the real thing if he had the chance, or even make some more powerful ones himself. After confirming all the items, he asked the boss to send all the firecrackers back home by truck and put them directly in the yard. "Asen, why did you buy so many fireworks and firecrackers?" Father Liu asked directly when he saw the piled firecrackers. "I bought some and prepared to set them off during the new year to make it more lively." Liu Sen replied with a smile, "These are some, and they are about to be piled up into a small mountain." He made some money, so the units of measurement became smaller in his son's eyes. Thinking of this, Father Liu shook his head. "You can set off all of these, and it's dangerous to pile them together like this." Father Liu didn't look at Liu Sen well. He, there are many children of relatives now, so we can give them toys to play with when they come to our house." Liu Sen smiled awkwardly. He had some thoughts when buying so many things. If the children couldn't play with them, he could help them play with them. "I don't mind letting them play with them, but you have to be safe. If you get hurt while playing, I'll beat you up." Returning to his study, he saw several jadeite stones in the room, and he finally found something to do. This was something he had wanted to do before but didn't have time to do. He turned on the computer and started to look up information, including tools and knowledge about processing jewelry. he placed an order online and bought some things, which should arrive before the festival. He went out and bought a lot of fruits and nuts again, and then went back to his big flat to get some nutrition guards, which he could use to make juice at home during the new year. He loaded a lot of Shangqing wine into the car again, which he could drink at home or give to others. When he returned to his rural home, it was already evening. The whole family had dinner together, and then Liu Sen changed the chicken essence 10 times more delicious for the family. Calculating the time, the 3 girls were almost home, and they were not from Jiangnan province. Working in Longcheng is all because they went to the same school, Jiangnan University of Technology. When the 3 girls saw the name of this school, they thought that this university should be in Jinling. After all, it was named after Jiangnan province, so they directly applied to this school. When they went to register, they found that this school was not in Jinling, but in Longcheng. When Liu Sen just knew about the situation of the 3 people, he laughed out loud. Liu Sen didn't know how many students were misled by the names of schools in Jiangnan province, such as Jiangnan University, Jiangnan University of Science and Technology, Huaxia University of Mining and Technology, Jiangnan Normal University, Jiangnan Ocean University, etc. It can almost be said that all universities named after Jiangnan province are not in the provincial capital Jinling. I don't know how many people have been cheated. Sitting in the study, Liu Sen and the girls had a video call for a while to confirm that they all got home safely. In fact, he was not too worried about the safety of the girls, because Liu Sen had modified the cars driven by the 3 girls with gold fingers, and the strength and toughness were increased tenfold, and the comprehensive safety performance was increased by more than tenfold. It is safer than the so-called number 1 car of the lighthouse country. Liu Sen was reluctant to let the 3 girls leave, but they also wanted to reunite, and there was no good reason to explain to each other's parents. Liu Sen, who had calmed down, sat in front of the window and looked up at the starry sky outside, mysterious and quiet. The future was waiting for him to conquer. After taking a shower, he went to bed. The next morning, he got up and steamed buns at home. The family began to get busy, and the stuffing was added with seasonings that increased the deliciousness tenfold. In the afternoon, the leaders of the town came to the house to express their condolences. Mayor Ma's arrival made Liu's parents a little restrained. After all, it was the first time they met the parents, and they came to their home in person. Liu Sen received Mayor Ma. Mayor Ma came this time mainly to thank Liu Sen for investing in his hometown. Liu Sen not only saved the glass factory, but also recruited so many people in the town, solved the employment of more than 4,000 people, and greatly increased the town's fiscal revenue. Many people in the town who had originally worked outside returned to the town. Mayor Ma came here to consult. Tianqiao town, there is not much arable land, mostly forest land. How to develop better, it's called consulting, but in fact, it's just to see if there's any more investment. He would be embarrassed to go out without hugging such a big golden thigh. Thinking about the situation in Tianqiao town, Liu Sen suddenly remembered that they are in a hilly area with a lot of woodlands, and most of them grow tea, but they are not famous. In fact, the quality of the tea in their town is still very good. Liu Sen has drunk it before. It is fragrant and slightly sweet. At that time, this tea was brought to the company for everyone to drink. Everyone felt that it was very good, not worse than the big-name tea on the market. If his golden finger improves the taste, then it will definitely make the brand famous. Mayor Ma, this is what I think. We have a lot of tea mountains, but they are not famous. You see, I can set up a company. I will pay the original tea farmers or bosses to transfer these tea mountains to my company in one lump sum, and I will create a local brand. Then, I will manage these tea trees scientifically, and I will hire the original tea farmers to work for me. The salary will definitely not be low. All of them will sign formal contracts, pay insurance, and have work all year round. And every year, depending on the income, a portion will be given to the village where they are located for rural construction and pension. Mayor Ma was very excited when he heard this. He really came here with an attitude of giving it a try. Such a golden thigh is here, and he feels it is a waste if he doesn't hug it. Unexpectedly, he really gave a very good suggestion. According to Liu Sen's suggestion, as long as it succeeds, it can almost solve the work and income of most people in the town, not to mention pension in the future. Although there are many tea mountains here, tea picking and tea making are seasonal after all. Some people only work for a few months a year when tea is harvested. If a formal employment contract is signed, these people don't have to worry about having no work and no income at other times. Moreover, Mayor Ma believed that Liu Sen's business was so big and successful, so this tea project would surely be successful. After simply finalizing some cooperation methods and general directions, Mayor Ma left Liu Sen's house with other government officials. When they left Liu Sen's house, they all smiled. In the car, Mayor Ma called all the people in the town government to come to the conference room for a meeting. A few minutes later, the car entered the government compound. Mayor Ma informed the secretary of the preliminary cooperation intention just reached with Liu Senator. Those who received the good news were also very happy and entered the conference room together. The content of the meeting was very simple. Now we will sort out all the tea mountain sizes and contractors, and then everyone will take the previous contract to communicate. The government will take back all the contract rights and give corresponding compensation. This is the biggest thing for Tianxiao Town in the future, and we must do this well. Chapter 75 Making Jewelry. You are listening at novelfold.audio. The next morning, which was New Year's Eve, Liu Sen's things purchased online 2 days ago were delivered to his home. There were quite a few things, including machines, tools, books, and some finished jade carvings. Liu Sen moved the books directly to the study upstairs. Father Liu saw the names of some books, all of which were books on carving design, sculpture composition, aesthetics, etc. "Asen, what's the use of buying so many of these books?" Father Liu took a book and flipped it open. There were some pictures in it. "It's good to have many skills. I'll learn a little these 2 days." He quickly sorted out all the books, and then moved all the tools for cutting stones, grinding, and carving to the backyard. After lunch at noon, Liu Sen went to the study and took out a finished jade carving, which directly improved the beauty and carving craftsmanship of the jade jewelry by 10 times. Then he let the relevant knowledge be instilled, and soon received it. He picked up the carving book and started to study. He wanted to integrate the knowledge in his mind as soon as possible and read the relevant books one by one. The whole process of the original carving plan in Liu Sen's mind became clearer. Seeing the time, it was already past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. When Liu Sen went downstairs, he saw that his mother had already put the prepared couplets and blessing characters on the table. He took these blessing characters and began to paste the couplets and blessing characters, from the backyard to the middle and then to the front yard, and soon finished. At this time, Liu Sen walked into the kitchen and began to help cook. "Mom and Dad, you take a break, I'll do the rest of the dishes." All the cooked dishes and soups were basically finished, and the rest were some stir-fried dishes. Liu Sen put on his protective clothing and started to cook. These vegetables had been processed by Liu's parents before, and he only needed to cook them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and soon several dishes were all finished. "Bring the dishes to the table and set the dishes." Liu Sen went out, lit a few big firecrackers and a small firecracker with 100,000 bangs, and the firecrackers exploded instantly. With the crackling sound, Liu Sen entered the house and started this year's New Year's Eve dinner. They drank Shangqing wine, and the unique aroma of the wine made Liu's father very happy. After knowing that this was produced by his son's company, he was even happier. Talk about the past and the future while eating, talk about how the family went from being poor to becoming rich through hard work, and how the country went from being backward to being an important player in the international arena. After eating and packing up everything, his parents gave Liu Sen a red envelope. "Asen, you are making a lot of money now, but this red envelope is still for you. As long as you don't get married, you are still a child." "Mom and Dad, thank you." Liu Sen still solemnly accepted the red envelope. Although it was not much money, this was a tradition and a blessing from the older generation to the younger generation. He turned on the TV in the living room and tuned it to China Channel 1, although it was still early for the Spring Festival Gala to start, and he might not watch it. Liu Sen still turned on the TV, so that it felt more lively. Soon, people came to visit one after another, and took out all kinds of fruits, nuts, and drinks prepared to entertain the neighbors who came. The New Year atmosphere is not as strong now. In the past, we always brought children with us when visiting relatives and friends, and the happiest ones were the children. After eating, the children would change into new clothes and shoes that had been prepared long ago, and then visit each household and say auspicious words. After going there would be all kinds of delicious fruits and snacks. and then take the children of this family to the next one. Now, the people who visit relatives and friends may be adults with good relationships, and the children have not gone out for a long time. After seeing off several families, it was more than 7 o'clock, and the Spring Festival Gala was about to begin. The parents watched TV. At this time, the mobile phone rang again. Today's mobile phone has been ringing all afternoon, and the phone has been numb. If it weren't for the wireless charging technology he invented, it would have run out of power and turned off long ago. When he took it out again and saw that it was Lulu's video call, the previous annoyance was swept away. "Brother Sen, Happy New Year, I miss you, moi." Liu Sen had just connected the video, and Lulu came with a series of words. Liu Sen was instantly embarrassed and winked at Lulu. Lu's parents heard the sound, looked at each other, then winked, and then silently changed their postures to allow their ears to better receive the information while pretending to watch TV. "Lulu, wait a minute, I'll go back to the bedroom." Liu Sen hurriedly left the living room, went upstairs, and returned to the bedroom. "Brother Sen, did your uncle and aunt hear you just now?" Lulu on the other side of the video blushed a little. "Yes." Liu Sen saw the blushing Lulu and wanted to laugh. "Who made him so careless? Brother Sen, I miss you. I will be back in 2 days. Why don't you stay a few more days? After all, it's not easy for a family to be reunited. I told my family that I need to deal with company matters now, and I gave them 1 million this time, so they won't urge me to go on blind dates." "Yeah, that's good. I miss you." "Where do I miss you?" "Everything." After chatting for a while, they hung up. Soon, the other 2 girls also called on video, and Ian Dan would be back soon. Luing will stay at home for several days until the end of the holiday. There are many relatives at home. Lu Ying's parents want to take her to visit relatives and increase their reputation among relatives. After all, Lu Ying is now a senior executive of the company and has a high salary. This time, she also gave her parents 1 million yuan. In the evening, Liu Sen also called many people to wish them a happy new year. After the phone calls, he returned to the study to continue reading. At 11:55, the alarm rang. Liu Sen went downstairs. His parents were already asleep. He picked up a few firecrackers and went to the door to light them. Back in the house, took a shower, and went to bed. Early the next morning, Liu Sen got up, cooked dumplings, and ate them. He went to the backyard, installed all the machines he had received before, and took out the jadeite raw stone he bought in Longqing 4 months ago. Ordinary jade rough material with window opening. Net weight, 2.7 kg, jade content, 1540 G. Jade color, green, chroma 21, jade water quality, 51. Ordinary jade. Rough material with window opening. Net weight, 3.7 kg, jade content, 2040 G. Jade color, purple, chroma 9, jade water quality, 41. Start using a stone cutter to cut the edges, and then use a grinder to grind. Soon, the 2 pieces, whether in water quality or color, far exceeded the 3 green jades sold at the time. These 2 pieces are estimated to be worth 100 million, but the value is not important. Liu Sen did not intend to sell them at the beginning, but wanted to design and process them himself and leave them to his family and beauty. Soon, my sister and brother-in-law came to pay New Year's greetings with their niece. Now my sister's family has also completed a huge change, and the 2 have become confident. Shueiju is now developing very well, and has opened flagship stores in first-tier cities. "Uncle, uncle, I'm here, hug me." Wang Yao opened her arms and ran over. "Wait." Liu Sen immediately stopped his niece from rushing over. "I'll go change my clothes. They're all dusty." There was a lot of dust from cutting stones just now. He went upstairs to change his clothes, and then hugged his niece who rushed over again. "Asen, what are you doing on New Year's Day?" asked his brother-in-law Wang Shifeng. "Make some small toys, and give one to Xiaoyao after it's done." He turned his head and looked at Wang Yao. "Do you want it, Xiaoyao?" "Yes." "That I'm here to take you to play with firecrackers," and took Wang Yao to the pile of firecrackers to select firecrackers. Chapter 76 New Research Task, Transfer of Tea Mountain. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the first and second days of the Chinese New Year, many people came to the house. Liu Sen also followed to visit relatives. When he arrived at each house, after greeting the elders, he would take his children to the car to get a lot of firecrackers and take the children to play. Seeing the happy look of the children, Liu Sen was also very happy. He also went to his uncle's house to pay New Year's greetings. Uncle Wang Dexin was very happy to see Liu Sen now, and kept saying that he was now capable, and cousin Niu is also very happy now, happy for her brother's career and for her own career, because all the business of Yijian is handled by Niu. It is all her business. She has received a notice that she will be promoted this year, and she heard from President Jin that he should also be promoted. President Jin has helped Liu Sen a lot, otherwise his entrepreneurship would not be so smooth. He originally planned to go to Uncle Jin to pay New Year's greetings in 2 days. On the morning of the third day of the Chinese New Year, Liu Sen was carving jade at home. He was busy for a long time. Just as he put the tools aside and wanted to rest for a while, he looked up and saw Yin Dan and Lu sitting on the side looking at him. Seeing the two, Liu Sen smiled instantly. "When did you arrive? Why didn't you notify me in advance? We just wanted to give you a surprise, so we agreed to come together," Yin Dan said with a smile. "Brother Sen, are you happy to see us?" Lu threw herself into Liu Sen's arms and nodded her head. "Happy. Brother Sen, I didn't expect you to be able to carve." Yin Dan and Lu had been watching for a while. Liu Sen was very serious when carving. Liu Sen had knowledge in his mind, and he was strong, with steady, powerful and flexible hands. He was also very good at carving, and could definitely be called a master craftsman. He was definitely not the kind of person who had a brain, I know, but hands, I don't. He put down everything. Although the carving now was not as dusty as before when cutting stones and grinding, there was still some, so he went back to the room to wash. In the bathroom, he washed his body. After 2 hours, he finally finished washing and got dressed. I looked at the time and hurried to the kitchen to help cook. The next day, Liu Sen carefully carved and polished. Yin Dan and Lu accompanied him, chatting, watching Liu Sen processing the jade, and took a video to send to Lu Ying. The jade jewelry gradually took shape, polished, and transformed rapidly, and finally completed all the processing on the 4th day of the new year. The green one was processed into a pendant, a plaque, and a ring face. The purple one was similar. The purple one was given to Lu and Yin Dan, and Lu Ying's portion was given to him when she came back. The green one was given to her mother, sister, and niece, and another one was brought to Niu. On the 5th day of the new year, Lu Ying also arrived, bringing a lot of local specialties for her parents. In the afternoon, Liu Sen took the 3 girls to Uncle Jin's house, and they were warmly received at Jin Ziming's house. After further understanding, I learned that Jin Ziming will be the deputy president of the Jinling branch next year, which can be regarded as a promotion, from a local branch to the deputy president of Jinling. Liu Sen asked what he could do to help in the future, so that Uncle Jin could stay in the position and work could be carried out more easily. Jin Ziming refused directly. These were actually not necessary. It turned out that he was a relatively easygoing person and was not too enthusiastic about official career. Otherwise, with his background, he would not have stayed in the position of branch president for so long. What made Jin Ziming happy was that he had chosen the right person. Liu Sen developed very well and also helped his daughter Jin Shuya. As a senior executive in such a promising company, the old man in the family was still very happy. After dinner, he said goodbye to their family and returned to his big flat. He would officially go to work tomorrow. After a long separation, the passion was like fire. The next day, he arrived at the company, gave out the opening red envelope and started working normally. Liu Sen went directly to the laboratory. There are about 2,000 researchers working here now, all from all walks of life. When the company has tasks, they do tasks. When there are no tasks, they do their own research. Materials can be applied directly and can be purchased after the company approves them. In fact, most of these applications are just a formality, just to check whether there are any dangerous experiments. In addition, this process can make applicants cherish the materials they applied for more or less, so as not to waste too much. Liu Sen convened relevant researchers of wireless charging and provided them with relevant information such as the next goal and research direction. There are also many precautions. so that they can avoid misunderstandings in advance and reach the goal faster. The goal is very clear: the wireless power transmission distance must reach 100 meters, and it can complete one-to-many simultaneous transmission. Everyone saw the new wireless power research requirements, and they were very excited, hoping to create more glory with the information. Everyone left the meeting room and started the next research. In the afternoon, Liu Sen went to Yijian wine industry again and looked at the research progress of fruit wine. Liu Sen was quite satisfied with the actual progress and believed that it would be able to meet the requirements in a short time. Yijian Glass, Liu Sen and Yin Dan went to see it together. The progress of the next generation of glass is also gratifying. It turns out that there is strength in numbers. I believe that with the stimulation of the few waves before the new year, this year's recruitment will definitely be easier. After leaving Yijian Glass, I went directly to the town government. In the morning, Mayor Ma called Liu Sen to inform him that the process here had basically been completed and asked when he would be free, because today is the first day of work after the holiday. Several companies need to go through it, which is quite busy. After visiting the glass factory in the afternoon, Liu Sen went directly to the town government. Mr. Liu, after the investigation and confirmation during the Spring Festival, we have a total of 3,000 acres of tea mountains, of which 2,500 acres are willing to be transferred by the original contractors. However, their tea trees have been planted for decades, so the transfer fee is relatively high, requiring 30,000 yuan per acre. However, the mountain contract fee there is not expensive. Our town government only charges 1,500 yuan per acre. This price is okay. The output value of each acre of the tea garden is about 8,000 yuan, which is almost the output value of 4 years. Liu Sen thought about it. The state's compensation standard for expropriation is about 3 to 10 times, and the price is okay. I agree. What about the remaining 500 acres? Mayor Ma was a little embarrassed when he heard Liu Sen's question. Compared with this, handling is not perfect. Finally, he said, that contractor heard that you want a contract. It should be the celebrity effect. He thinks that when you create a brand, he can still benefit from it, and his tea garden and tea will rise, so he doesn't want to transfer it. Since he thinks so, it's okay. After all, it's his right to transfer or not. Liu Sen thought to himself that it was so easy to get his advantage, and hoped that he would not cry to transfer the tea garden to him. He would not bully the weak like others, but he would sell tea under the same brand as him. If people found out that they were different, he would lose everything. Now the varieties are the same, but it will be two different things after a while. Mayor Ma, when can we sign the agreement? It can be done now. They are waiting. After all, the offer is 4 times the output value, which is equivalent to 10 years of profit. Since he told them, he has been squatting here every day since the first day of the Chinese New Year. Hearing what Mayor Ma said, he was a little amused and even thought that he agreed too readily. Soon, 3 transfer contracts were signed together, and then the contract was signed with the government again. Chapter 77: A Small Breakthrough, Made in PRC. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Yijian Group, HR Department, Head Count. People keep coming in and out. This situation has been going on for many days, with dozens or even hundreds of people applying for the job every day. Because most of them are technical positions, these HR specialists have no way to complete the interviews, so they can only let members of each professional research group take turns to interview applicants in the reception room every day. The people in each department are constantly filling up, and soon the number of people has increased by nearly 1-fold. This expansion rate is too fast. The company's house is actually starting to be tight, and the new residential building has not yet been built, so it urgently bought several finely decorated buildings in a nearby property that has just opened. Fortunately, the housing prices have fallen a lot now, and the previous communication with the government has clearly determined the future housing price trend of Rongcheng, which is a low housing price policy. Relatively high housing prices will actually inhibit the development of the city and affect the consumption level of the people in a city. The most important point is that the income from selling land is far from the tax paid by Yijian Group, and these have not affected the research and development progress of each company. On the contrary, because the new people have jointly studied, they have provided some new ideas and accelerated the research. In the group laboratory, the lights were on all night, and Liu Sen was also working hard. The radio technology was finally about to be completed. At this time, the phone rang, and Liu Sen's thoughts were interrupted. Liu Sen looked up and saw that many people around him were looking at him. Liu Sen realized that it was his phone that rang. He smiled awkwardly, and when he saw that it was Deng Yaluan who called, he pressed the mute button and walked out of the laboratory. He answered the phone. "Hello, Yaluan, what's the matter?" "I was just doing an experiment." "Asen, I just received a call from the laboratory here. The fruit wine has been studied and the first barrel of experimental wine has been produced." "Really? How does it taste?" Liu Sen didn't expect that the fruit wine had already been produced. "The taste is very good. I believe it can occupy a part of the market, and this should be more popular abroad." Liu Sen knows the market positioning of fruit wine. This is a supplement to Yidian in the domestic market, and the main focus is abroad. The love for fruit wine abroad is much more extensive than that in China. When it comes to fruit wine, many people in China may think of bayberry wine and plum wine. In fact, wine is also a kind of fruit wine. Red wine, white wine, are all fruit wine. After multiple tests and the taste is fine, start contacting our sellers in the Lighthouse country. They are all very well connected, and I believe that sales will be opened soon. It can be put on the market and sold normally in China. The wine bottle you designed last time is very good, and it can be used directly. The name of the wine was mentioned last time, Lu. After saying that, he hung up the phone and returned to the laboratory to continue research. Half a month has passed in a blink of an eye. Wireless charging has been tested many times, and the materials have been improved many times. Just completed an update of the algorithm and materials. Test number 19231, 10 meters, stable current, duration 1 minute, no energy loss. Start moving, 20 meters, stable duration 1 minute, no energy loss. Continue moving, 30 meters, stable duration 1 minute, no energy loss. Continue moving, 50 meters, stable duration 1 minute, no energy loss. Continue moving, 80 meters, stable duration 1 minute, no energy loss. Continue moving, 100 meters, stable duration 1 minute, no energy loss. Continue moving, 105 meters, stable duration 1 minute, energy loss 5%. Continue moving, 110 meters, unstable connection, energy loss 30%. Start current power increase test. 30, 120W success. Increasing the power again will directly fail to transmit and disconnect. Then the function of intelligent matching current power size was tested and the test was successful. Tested again, one-to-many wireless power transmission, no problem at all. The connection was unstable when the distance exceeded 50 meters. This time, wireless power transmission has made a certain breakthrough. The scope of application is wider, but there are still many limitations, notified the head of the laboratory, Xianguoli, and asked him to make some test products, and use them in the company for testing first to find out the shortcomings. Back to the office, thinking of the previous results, Liu Sen was still a little disappointed, and it was still a little short of his requirements. At this time, Lu Ying entered the office and saw that Liu Sen looked a little tired, and couldn't help but walk behind him, extending both hands to press Liu Sen's temples. In fact, Liu Sen was not tired physically, but a little disappointed in his heart. The research progress was slow. It seems that this technology is indeed a little ahead of the times. Under his own leadership, and given relevant research directions, it still doesn't work. Feeling Liu Ying's care, the body leaned back, found a more comfortable position, was wrapped in softness, and felt a little relaxed. Liu Sen thought about everything during this period, what was not done well, and what could be accelerated. He knew that he couldn't blame these researchers. They had worked very hard and often worked overtime. Many times, they worked overtime until 1 or 2 in the morning. After being discovered by him, they went back to rest under his drive. Another reason is that I was too busy and couldn't concentrate on my research as much as I did at the beginning, so the progress was a bit slow. The affairs of the group need to be considered, and the affairs of the subsidiaries also need to be paid attention to. It seems that if I want to speed up the research and development, I need to find helpers. The number of helpers in scientific research has been increasing, but there are still too few scientific research experts, and the management of group affairs also takes time. I have to pay attention to this aspect in the future, and there is no need to force myself so much, he still has his own life. Feeling the gentle massage of fingers and the softness of the headrest, he instantly felt a little relaxed. He deeply knew that he had less time to communicate with the three women recently, and he neglected them a little, and they didn't say anything, but just silently paid. He reached back and hugged Lu Ying, took a deep breath, smelled the fragrance on Inger, closed his eyes, and felt the quietness of this moment. For a long time, Liu Sen opened his eyes and let go of the charming Inger in front of him. The listing of domestic fruit wine did not set off much waves. There are too many petty bourgeoisie in China who only drink some foreign fruit wines and always think that domestic ones are not up to standard. In the country of lighthouses, Jenny, a cooperative distributor of Yijian wine, held a wine party and invited many executives of the company and people from the entertainment industry. The wine used in this meeting was from Yijian Company. After this banquet, Yulu wine became popular again, and many people ordered a batch from Jenny. Jenny did not expect that it would be so easy to get through. You know, the wine this time is also not cheap, and each bottle of Yulu wine is sold at $280. Their purchase price is $180. The price of Yulu wine in China is 1,088 yuan, which is not low, so there are relatively few sold in China. Because of the hot sales abroad, Yijian also sent most of the goods to foreign countries, leaving 10% in China, and because of Jenny's suggestion, he changed all the Yulu wine sold abroad to foreign words. The origin mark was changed to Made PRC. Sure enough, after the label was changed, it was easier to sell. The first batch of 90 tons was sold out. And then another 100 tons were sent. Fortunately, Yijian's fruit wine is simple to brew and has a short cycle. Chapter 78. Your uncle is still your uncle. You are listening at novelfold.audio. At this time, another work was also actively promoted. A new company, the Agricultural Cooperative, was established. This company had no direct relationship with Yijian and Liu Sen, and it could not be found out. It was mainly to meet the raw material needs of the current companies for later production and consumption. Yijian's production requires too much grain, and fruit wine also requires a lot of fruit. Rongqing is originally a mountainous and hilly area, and the climate is more suitable for the growth of fruit, but it is still too little, and it cannot fully meet the increasing production capacity of Yijian. The agricultural cooperative contracted land in various rural areas of Rongqing to plant crops such as wheat, sorghum, and rice. While cooperating with the locals, a part of the profit dividend will also be given. After contracting the land, farmers will also be recruited locally, responsible for planting and maintaining the farm. All signed formal labor contracts, paid insurance, and promised that as long as the management of farmland passed the company's review, there would be a bonus at the end of the year. Rongqing became a pilot site for the agricultural cooperative. Regarding this pilot site, Liu Sen has no plans to make a profit in the near future. As long as he can break even, it is the best goal. Yijian needs to build its own closed-loop production chain to prevent other troubles that may arise later, and it needs to be considered in advance. After all, this aspect is related to one of Yijian's money bags and is also his main source of income at present. Cooperate with local farmers, sign contracts to contract land, hire farmers, and grow vegetables, fruits, and grains needed by the company. I believe that farmers from all over the country are very supportive. They originally did odd jobs at home to earn a little money. Usually they also planted land. Now they sign contracts with rural cooperatives. Although the salary is not very high, they still have a stable income of more than 4,000, and various insurances. When the profit is considerable in the later stage, there will be a bonus at the end of the year. Many office clerks in cities do not earn much more than this. A farmer's home. Uncle, you have heard all the information I introduced. We are really sincere. A staff member of an agricultural cooperative said to an old man in his 50s with a friendly face. After hearing the introduction, the old man was a little moved and a little hesitant. He really wanted to agree, but with such good conditions, he was afraid it was a scam. There are too many scammers nowadays. There are scams on the internet and on the phone. Otherwise, the country would not have come up with an anti-fraud software. A few days ago, the village cadres went door to door to recommend the installation of this thing. For this matter, he even called his son and asked about it. the son explained the reason and asked him to download the anti-fraud software with the help of the village cadres. Now he heard the words of a young man with a smile on his face, and his mind was moved. But such a good thing fell on his head. He couldn't believe it. Did this young man want to trick him? He always felt that the weasel was not kind to the chicken. He silently took out his mobile phone and secretly opened the anti-fraud software. The anti-fraud software did not respond. The old man was a little anxious. Why didn't it work? There was another call yesterday, and it still responded. Young man, call me. The old man finally came up with a solution. What kind of operation is this? The young man with a smile on his face was a little stunned when he heard this request. He was a little confused by the old man's operation. The introduction was fine, and the old man was right across the street. Why did he have to call? However, despite his doubts, he still dialed the number given by the old man. After a few seconds, the old man's phone rang, and the young man saw the old man fiddling with the anti-fraud app for a while. Good man, I've been introducing it to you for a long time, and my mouth is dry. Is this to identify whether I am a liar? The young man was so angry that his head hurt, and he reached out to touch his forehead. He took a deep breath and exhaled, repeated several times, then he warned himself not to get excited, not to get excited. After a while, he calmed down and said, Uncle, I'm not a liar. When the old man heard what the young man said, he was also stiff. He knew that his little action was seen by the other party. He was a little embarrassed and his face was a little hot. Fortunately, the old man's skin was dark, and the young man couldn't see it. You said you are not a liar, but I know that now farming can only bring in a few thousand yuan per mu of land a year, and that's not even counting the cost of seeds, pesticides, and fertilizers. You said that if I help you farm for a month, I will give you 4,000 yuan. How can this be possible? Uncle, you are really my uncle. This is true. I am not lying to you. This is a signed contract. The young man quickly took out the contract and handed it to the uncle. Contracts can also be deceptive, and I can't read. The uncle threw the contract aside. Lao Qian in our village also signed a contract when he bought insurance. He paid a few thousand yuan every year. In the end, he got sick, but he still didn't get any compensation. The uncle was angry. The insurance seller is just like you. He is dressed like a human being, smiling and calling Lao Qian, and calling him uncle on the left and right. As a result, he became a grandson after buying insurance, begging people every day, can you give him some compensation? The uncle's eyes were wide open, staring at the young man. The young man felt so upset after hearing what the old man said. He really wanted to curse the insurance salesman to death for doing nothing good. He had no other choice but to deal with the old man in front of him. The old man in front of you said he didn't understand, but he knew so much and even gave you examples. Let's face it, it's all just half understanding, but I do have a good sense of vigilance, probably because some of the people I know have been deceived before. So I am so vigilant. He really couldn't help it. It didn't make sense at all. Is this the first one so difficult? Thinking of how many other villages there are, he wants to die. The young man thought for a while and felt that it was better to bring in reinforcements, so he said to the uncle, Uncle, I will leave for a while and come back soon. After leaving the uncle's house, he went directly to the village committee. The old man couldn't help but feel proud when he saw the young man running away. This little liar actually deceived your uncle. Fortunately, you ran fast, otherwise you would not be able to eat and walk around. Village committee. Village Chief Gao, I'm here for help. Han Sanren said when he saw the village chief. Xiao Han, what's wrong? Do you need help? It's like this. I just arrived at the uncle's house in the village. I introduced the situation, but the uncle didn't believe me and regarded me as a liar. Please explain to me quickly. Han Sanren said what happened just now. Read it again. Village Chief Gao couldn't help but murmured in his heart after hearing this. If the leader hadn't said hello in advance, I would have thought you were a liar if you came over and offered me such good terms. That's it. I wanted to help you do the work before, but you left too fast and I didn't have time to say anything. Ah. Han Sanren's head was buzzing when he heard the village chief's words. This was still his fault, so he ran faster. "Village chief, please come with me." Han Sanren was about to pull the village chief away. "Don't worry, you don't have to run from house to house. I'll just call everyone to the village committee to talk together." The village chief stopped Han Sanren. "Young man, when working in rural areas, you need to pay attention to methods. Others may not believe you if you tell them one by one. They may think you are guilty. If you call them all together and talk about it, the credibility of the matter will increase." Village Chief Gao said with some seriousness that this young man was a good person, but he was too impatient, so he didn't explain it before, but asked him to run around by himself, so that he could grow. This agricultural cooperative really benefits the rural people, so he also hopes that the people in this company can grow. Under Han Sanren's gaze, Village Chief Gao took out the microphone from the drawer and turned on the power supply nearby. Pay attention, we have something very important to say now. Everyone must gather at the village committee. Everyone must gather at the village committee immediately." After speaking, Village Chief Gao also threw a look at Han Sanren. Han Sanren felt split instantly when he saw Chief Gao's operation. Is this how people work in the countryside? This situation happened in many places, and many rural people couldn't believe it. However, after the government's persuasion and explanation, they signed the field subcontracting and labor contracts with satisfaction. Rural land output is not high and economic income is not high. A large part of the reason is the lack of high-quality seeds, scientific management, and unified planning. Liu Sen's establishment of a company to contract land and hire farmers was only the first step in his plan. Chapter 79. Prepare for a rainy day and cooperate with the Agricultural Science Institute. You are listening at novelfold.audio. While contracting land in various places, Liu Sen went to the Agricultural Science Institutes in Rongcheng, Kudu, and Jinling. He wanted to expand his foundation and take precautions. Going to the Agricultural Science Institute was mainly to invest in research and improve seeds together. China's dependence on foreign seeds is very serious. The annual import of seeds in China reaches nearly 80,000 tons. It sounds small, but you have to know that this is seeds, not grains and vegetables. Among all grain seeds, there are a few that are basically self-sufficient. The self-sufficiency rate of domestic rice and wheat seeds is 100%, and the self-sufficiency rate of corn seeds is slightly lower, reaching 95%. This is still the result of our scientists' continuous efforts and research. In general, my country is a major seed importer. There are a lot of seeds from abroad. Once they are stuck, some high-quality vegetables on the market will disappear, and we usually have many misunderstandings about some titles, and some titles confuse the cognition of a large part of people. For example, in a famous mountain county in my country, which has a history of planting for 100 years and is known as the home of Chinese potatoes, most of the potatoes grown are from the lighthouse country. In the home of Chinese vegetables, foreign seeds account for as much as 30%. The seeds of the white radish we usually eat are mostly imported from the Han country. The indispensable peppers come from Israel. Half of my country's vegetable seeds come from abroad. The price of vegetables is also controlled by foreign countries. Once the seeds are cut off, the results can be imagined. Therefore, Liu Sen must make some preparations in advance. Seed research is very troublesome and takes a long time, because it can only be tested a few times a year, because many breeding methods in my country are still conventional methods, relying on sight and touch. Anther culture and genetic transformation, gene editing and molecular breeding are rarely used, and the top 50 seed companies in China. The total annual investment in seed research and development by 50 companies does not exceed 1.5 billion, basically, as long as they can buy from abroad. They will not study. The country's food security is really not optimistic, of course, except for staple food. The same is true for breeding pigs, which basically rely on imports. Liu Sen's influence is not large enough, not wide enough, and he was not a person in this field before, so he was not famous enough. Therefore, he can only use the company's reputation to cooperate with the nearby Agricultural Science Institute first. It will still give some face when it is so close. He established relevant research projects, such as studying the seeds of various vegetables and fruits, and then providing some ideas for seed selection, cultivation environment, and reagents to accelerate growth. so that the test can be completed faster and the target seeds needed can be further selected. This can effectively promote the development of seeds. And after these seeds are cultivated, they can be given to agricultural cooperatives as soon as possible. In this way, large-scale experimental planting can be carried out, and people from the Agricultural Science Institute will guide scientific planting methods together, while farmers can keep good records, etc. The planting value of new seeds is much higher than that of the original seeds, so his cooperative can be maintained and even profitable. With more experience, it can be iterated faster, and these seeds can even be iterated to be planted on spacecraft and in the starry sky. It can also change the domestic dependence on foreign seeds. If sanctions are imposed in the future, it can be used immediately, and the 3 agricultural science institutes will have different focuses in their research. In the later stage, a large number of people will go to the seed breeding center built in Rongqing for research, and the newly built breeding center will use the most advanced seed breeding factory in the world. Liu Sen will directly sign a fixed-point breeding agreement with the agricultural schools in the 3 cities to train professionals so that professionals can directly enter related positions after graduation. For breakthrough technologies, they will also be taught in the agricultural schools in the 3 cities. This aspect is what Liu Sen communicated with government officials during the Spring Festival. This is a big layout and what government officials are happy to see. The 3 urban agricultural schools can obtain the latest knowledge through agricultural cooperatives and increase their own special and advantageous majors. Rongqing's agricultural school directly changed from a junior college to an undergraduate college, which just lacked these to enhance the reputation of the school. Agricultural cooperation was still one aspect of the communication at that time, and the others were in full swing. After the signing of the cooperation agreement, Liu Sen took out the first batch of seeds and gave them to the 3 agricultural science institutes, and attached to the relevant characteristics and other documents. Of course, many of them are speculative, and what is given is also the result of his own research in this area. He also told the Qingfeng wine that he had studied before, the enzymes and wine yeast used, which are also a discovery in this research. Liu Sen and the people from the Agricultural Science Institute exchanged relevant knowledge, and let them believe the origin of Liu Sen's provision. After all, it is completely understandable that a person who can draw inferences from one thing and say some innovative discoveries after reading a relevant book in a short time will do something else. Of course, the seeds provided are not the seeds that Liu Sen directly increased tenfold. They are the first generation of seeds that he actually researched according to the knowledge, which have improved the original yield, improved the taste, shortened the growth cycle, etc. After obtaining the seeds, they were quickly put into the experiment. With the help of the accelerated growth liquid, they matured quickly, and the data were similar to those provided by Liu Sen, and then they began to cultivate again. As for the origin of the accelerated growth liquid, Liu Sen explained that it was made by chance and was not replicable. In fact, this knowledge is also in his mind, but it is impossible to produce it with current technology. So he can only provide some for rapid breeding. The most important thing is to race against time and cultivate market-leading seeds as soon as possible. When there are market-leading seeds, breeding can be done at a normal speed. As for the growth liquid, some is left for them to study themselves. It would be best if they can produce some results. He will not use the golden finger to make this thing again without special circumstances. It can be explained if it comes out once by chance, but if it is provided for the second time, it means that it is replicable. The problem is that the existing technology and equipment are completely unable to make it. Forcibly researching synthetic manufacturing will lead all personnel into the ditch. Based on the knowledge he has obtained, it is really not made now, otherwise he will definitely increase research. This is a big killer. Soon when the growth liquid was about to run out, the first batch of more than 10 kinds of seeds provided finally met the requirements of the first stage. The seeds were also replicated and cultivated. Seed cultivation is really difficult, especially natural cultivation without side effects. Genetic modification may be completed soon, but this is what Liu Sen left for the Chinese people to use, and it must be the safest and without side effects. The seeds soon met the requirements, and the seeds distributed were sterilized. The farmers who had signed the contract before finally got the seeds and could start planting. They had been tidying up the fields, and some had built greenhouses, but there was nothing to plant. They were really afraid that their current work would fail. the staff of the Agricultural Science Institute and the Agricultural Cooperative went to each village to guide the farmers in planting, one guide, one record, and constantly correct the farmers' irregularities. Although the farmers were puzzled, they were now formal employees, and it was stated when signing the contract that they must obey the instructions of the Agricultural Science Institute and the cooperative staff. Chapter 80, Initial Involvement in Special Equipment Production. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Yijian Glass Factory has attracted many companies in recent times, all seeking cooperation. The quality of the glass bottles of Qingfeng and Shangsake sold by Yijian Liquor has been widely known. For car companies, glass is essential. Manager Gong, please believe us, we come here with sincerity. Vice President He from a car company said. Mr. He, it's not that I don't want to cooperate with you, but the group has said before that all cooperation will be temporarily postponed. Manager Gong said sheepishly. Manager Gong, Gong Rongtao, just recently switched jobs from another company to Yijian Glass. Yijian Glass was still managed by Yin Dan before, but as the number of affairs increased, he was unable to do all the work, so he resigned from the position of subsidiary manager. When Yin Dan handed over the work to him, he had already told him one thing, that is, reject any manufacturer that comes to seek cooperation. If he cannot refuse, he will postpone it. He also knew the specific reasons through the company but could not tell the public yet. Then Manager Gong, if you can cooperate in the future, please inform us, and we will definitely come over as soon as possible. Vice President He felt helpless when he heard Gong Rongtao's answer. He had heard about it from other car companies, and the answers given by Yijian were the same, but he still wanted to give it a try because he knew the current manager Gong Rongtao before. Don't worry, as long as the group says it's okay, I will definitely make the call myself. Gong Rongtao finally rejected the other party. He knew Vice President He before and had cooperated with Mr. He's company when he was in the previous company. After seeing Mr. He off, Gong Rongtao returned to the office and continued working. Liu Sen in the group also welcomed several special guests. Mr. Liu, nice to meet you. Welcome. Welcome. Liu Sen saw that the two people in front of him were both in their 40s, wearing military and police uniforms. They were both in their prime. Hello, my name is Li Han. Li Han is the middle-aged man in military uniform. Hello, my name is Zhou Rui. Zhou Rui was wearing a police uniform. Hello, welcome. Mr. Liu, we just want to talk about cooperation. Li Han directly stated the purpose of this trip. Oh, I don't know what kind of cooperation it is. Liu Sen produced several things under his banner, but he didn't know which one he was interested in. We would like to discuss cooperation in special glass. Li Han added. Special glass, I'm sorry, we haven't produced special glass yet. Liu Sen thought for a moment. They are now producing ordinary glass. Special glass has been developed but has not been put into production. Isn't that glass bottle of Qingfeng wine produced by Yijian Glass? This time it was Zhou Rui who said in advance. Well, that one is produced by us, but that one is either special glass or ordinary glass. Liu Sen recounted the facts again. Li Han and Zhou Rui looked at each other. This glass is considered ordinary glass for you. Maybe it is just ordinary glass to Liu Senator after all, it is produced in so many quantities as wine bottles. Mr. Liu, we need the material for glass wine bottles. I declare again that that is really ordinary glass. Have you tested the performance of that glass? Liu Sen, as a patriotic and honest man, reminded him again. After testing, all the data are very perfect. It is light, hard, not easy to break, and the bulletproof performance is very good. You must know that the wine bottle is only 0.3 centimeters, and it can withstand 3 consecutive shots from a sniper rifle at the same point. Can't penetrate. Li Han was still a little excited when he counted these data. You really want that glass? It's very cheap. I'll give you a price of 20,000 yuan per cubic meter. Liu Sen thought for a while and quoted a price. When the two heard the price, they looked at each other. Is it so cheap? They found a treasure. Yes, we will place an order for you and buy 1,000 tons first. Specific drawings and data will be sent to you when the time comes. I'm talking about the cost of the bare glass, not the processing cost. It's already very cheap for me to give you. Do you still want me to make grinding tools and process it for you? The two of them were also speechless. If you give me glass, I can't process it. They tried wine bottles, but they couldn't process them except for smashing them. How about using these cubic glass blocks to build a house? In this way, every time we help you produce a product, you will pay an additional fee for making grinding tools. This is calculated separately according to the difficulty. Liu Sen didn't ask for much price. Also, I want to tell you that many manufacturers are now coming to seek cooperation. I just want to say, what do you think if my glass is used by everyone on a large scale? Liu Sen raised a question that he has been thinking about. It is good to promote large-scale glass, so that the safety of drivers can be further guaranteed, but it will also cause trouble for some accident rescues, as well as social security issues. Will it increase the number of gangsters driving to commit crimes, such as card breaking and so on? After all, this means that the police and armed police have less ability to suppress these people in cars, and people are not afraid at all in cars, especially small police guns, shoot out all the bullets. It's probably useless. In order to catch criminals, there will be cases of breaking in through windows. If replaced with this glass, this window will become indestructible. How to do it? No matter how iron the head is, it cannot break through. The two were dumbfounded when they heard Liu Sen's question. Because it is cheap and has a large output, this situation will definitely happen once it is widely supplied to the civilian market. Unlike the previous bulletproof glass, it is not only thick and heavy, but also expensive. The price difference between the two is dozens of times. Mr. Liu, we can't answer this question for the time being. Let's go back and report. The two of them couldn't answer this question either. After all, it might involve the issue of social stability in the future. Liu Sen didn't urgently know the answer. Anyway, it wasn't released before, and he didn't lack the money. It's just that he has been annoyed by those who want to cooperate recently, so it's better to throw the problem to the government. Yijian Glass didn't open up its supply to the outside world because Liu Sen considered some unstable reasons in this regard. Let them evaluate and send a notice. Liu Sen asked Liu to inform Yijian Glass of today's situation and let them expand a factory, preferably independent, and keep it confidential. After all, this is the production of special equipment. As for why he didn't take out the latest special glass, it was because the production cost of the latest special glass was relatively high, and the current glass can already meet the use requirements. The latest special glass costs 100 times more than before, which is really cheaper than gold. Gong Rongtao received a call from the group and learned that there was a special order that required expansion of production capacity and confidentiality, and he knew what was going on. He quickly planned and utilized the empty site next to it and ordered some more production equipment. 2 days later, Liu Sen did not wait for the notice of prohibition of sales to the private market, but proposed that he could weaken the performance of the glass in a targeted manner to protect the public without hindering law enforcement. Seeing this information, he didn't know how to implement it, so he could only throw the request to Gong Rongtao and let him arrange the research. If you want more market, want to make more money, and get more bonuses, you can find a way yourself. The group can only be listed after approval. According to Liu Sen's idea, it is best to do it if you can, and forget it if you can't do it. He doesn't lack these 3 melons and 2 dates.